Hi everyone and welcome to a special casting, because this is the final game from the June tournament that was played later than June because of scheduling issues. This was the decider between Tanner and RabidsquirrelX. I'm sure Rabbid Squirrel has probably covered this on his channel, but I thought I'll have a look. It's a Saturday morning, it's a short-ish game. Let's get into it. So we got P.Uri.Tanner on the left in blue, playing as the 5th Panzers, and on the right we have Rabid Squirrel in red, playing as the 39th Infantry. And for once in the history of this game, NATO are blue and Pact are actually red. That's rather shocking, let's be honest. Usually it's the wrong way round. Both players sending quite a lot of units down to Alpha, which is something we've seen regularly on this map. We don't see many people hitting Echo hard. It's usually just a smattering of units that go that way. One of the reasons for that is the amount of buildings, I think, that are in Alpha. So it's easier once you get in to defend or indeed fight over it by getting more infantry in. Whereas here at the top you've got a lot more open area to cross. But that said, I mean, I'm yet to see a game where someone pushes Echo really hard and goes straight through to Delta. And honestly, I think that's very possible. If you built a defensive line either just in Alpha from either side, or heavily defended Foxtrot here, heavily defended Bravo here using this tree line, and sort of Foxtrot using these tree lines here, you could send the bulk of your force through Echo and straight into Delta, and the way we've seen people playing, which is this huge force down here, you could easily push through into either Delta or indeed Hotel, because there's very little up there. But it is what it is. Now, lots of tanks down here. T-62s providing good fire support against the infantry and buildings. Your Leo 1A5, no, 3 Leo 1A5s at that side. You got some BMP3s coming in as well now. Obviously, needs to be aware that there is a Milan 2, though it is currently firing at the MTLBs, which is a good waste of missiles. That's to Rabid Squirrel's advantage there. But look at the firepower that these tanks and the BMP3s are putting out against these infantry. I mean, they're going to flatten the buildings probably long before the infantry die. But look at the damage they put out on those guys. Loads more Zishrungs and some Pioneer Armbusts coming in. Got some ATGM missiles going for that, so that's dead. This is running short on missiles, but not out of them. It still poses a significant threat to Rabid Squirrel. Rabid Squirrel got lots of units in here as well. Honestly, I'd be pushing those forward if you can. Because, you know, I know it's only a anti-tank gun, but a little bit further up would be good. Leo 1A5 there, pulling back. These two are still alive as well. BMP3 is doing a really good job. T-62 is getting a bit closer. Leo 1A5 is mostly hitting the buildings currently. A little bit of damage to that T-62. You really need some supply trucks coming in. I'm seeing plenty of anti-air and another tank and some Sapri RPOs coming in. Little movement up here. We do have just that Lux there. Something has been killed up here though. I'm not sure what killed that, but it was a little vehicle, perhaps one of these anti-tank guns. I didn't see a jet come in specifically. Fernspay being sent up and possibly round the back, but I imagine they're going to get taken out by these Igla. Leo 1A5 there, and the Lux. I mean, Rabid Squirrel probably has enough forces there to push against what Tanner has. Tanner's calling in more stuff now, of course. Down here, it's a bit of a mishmash. I think Tanner maybe has slightly more units, but they're in a worse position, you know, crossing an open field against a BMP3, another BMP3 on the way to help fire support. They're dead. This tank could be utilized at this side to attack these. Obviously taking into account that they do have the tank gun and the anti-tank missiles. Command coming in here for this point. It's an interesting point. Rabid Squirrel got a very big advantage early game with the points there. 633 by getting the 2 back points early. We're now going to see some points swinging in favour of Tanner. Well, I say that. What I mean is he's about to get +2 and then +4 when that command gets up here. However, it's going to be a while before he gets to 633. And let's be honest, I imagine that the next thing that Rabbit Squirrel is going to buy are going to be a few command vehicles. Just wondering where this bomber's going. MiG-23 MFHE. Oh, very nice. Went for the Milan up there. I'm not sure it actually got the kill. That Milan's alive. I don't think there was another one there. MTLB being sent out to see if it was still alive. Good strategy. Wasting the unimportant vehicles. Still some small amount of reinforcements heading up to Echo for Tanner. I mean, I think Rabbit Squirrel has lost his chance at pushing there. But to be honest, I think he would have had a hard time pushing. He probably had just enough to take it, but the tank would have caused him issues. Those Fernspur did get right around the back. That is seriously at risk. I'm very confused as to how the Igla did not see that chopper. I'm assuming Rabbit Squirrel just doesn't know it's there. Commands now finally coming in. Those Fernspur will be charging down this hill. Now, the satchel charges will do damage once they get up close and personal, but they don't pose as much threat as an RPG launcher would. Lots of little tanks coming in down here. Lots of 1A1A1s. Another anti-tank gun being dragged in and being sat back here. I kind of feel like Rabbit Squirrel needs to push more up this way. I don't know what the big plan is here. As I say, this wasn't the longest game in the world, so there's got to be some big shifts in the next 10 minutes. But I just don't know what those big shifts are. A little bit of movement here. Sapri RPO running up solo. I assume going to go for this building here. We'll be fighting 4 squads that are in that building and 1 that are sat behind, plus the fire support from around and about. Those Lux, for example, should be able to fire on it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, this is 3 squads of Sapri RPO. I thought it was only 1. Jeez. They still got slaughtered. Leo's being moved up as well for fire support. Most likely Metis will get a good shot on one of those tanks. Yeah. 3 pips of health left. Will need repair. Very nice. Those 2 commands coming in now. The Fernspur is moving over this way towards the point. More Motostrelki coming in BMPs. Over this side, more Pioneer Armbusts, some Pioneer Flams. Ooh. Artillery piece coming in as well. It's a funny little artillery piece, isn't it? It looks too small. Like if you compare it to the size of these tanks and things, it looks weirdly small. I don't know. Maybe it's out of scale? Or maybe it's correct. Does any military buff know if that is to scale, or if it's for some reason a little bit small? It really does look small. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the size of the gun. But that artillery piece is firing over here somewhere. Fernspur is still pushing down towards this point. It left them out in the open for quite a long time there. I'm surprised they didn't get spotted. I suppose there's not a lot going that way. Enemy spotted marker there. This is one of Tanner's things. He does like to mark enemy vehicles. He's marked the command. Or where he thinks the command is. He's a little bit off. Not miles away though. Loads of units building up here for Tanner. Doesn't feel like there's quite as much built up for RabidsquirrelX. I mean, the reality is Rabbit Squirrel is ahead. Not massively ahead in points though. Artillery being used just to scare off those tanks. And the BMP-3s. Not too scary. Alouette taking fire from the Igla. Push coming here from Tanner. Someone had to make a move sooner or later. Not that we can see very much. Everything is in the forests. You see lots of pretty bullet trails going past. But I mean, this is the reality, unless you're setting up something for cinematics, which one day I eventually will get round to. It just takes a bit of planning. Everything's in forest, so you can't really see very much. HE bomber coming in here, dropping all the way over there apparently. I'm sorry, that is so confusing. That jet looked like it was over here, not over there. HE-25AT, this is a Tanner special. Being used against Tanner here, though. Oh, look at that. I'm sorry. Planes in this game, the jets just acquire targets in a weird, too fast manner sometimes. Like, it was turning and he just randomly opened fire on that helo and took it out with this main gun. It's like, just as an off chance, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're too good at just doing that. Cluster bomber coming in here will make a mess of all these units. Beautiful strike. Absolutely beautiful, Tanner. Well done. He'll be pleased with that. And now here comes the charge of the tanks. How much damage will they take from all these motor-stroking Metis? And a BMP-3 at the back that is already dead. It's all about these Metis launchers. He's getting some nice shots off, I'll say that much. Smoke being popped. The 01A1A1's being used to perhaps absorb some of that fire. Smoke as well. There is a supply truck there though, so it's not going to help. Fuck's also being brought up to try and absorb some of that fire. Ideally what Tanner wants to do is run those missiles out, but there is a supply there. It will get rearmed. There's a 25 rocket coming in now. Some big tanks, or a big tank. And some more anti-air. Fuchs is dead. Pioneer Flam's pushing up. 27 minutes to go. Lots of units coming in from Tanner now. Loads of Zischerungs. Under the Pioneer Armbusts. Something in a Marder. More Fernspare. The Fernspare up here must have died at some point. I didn't see what happened to them, but they are gone. SC-25 rocket just flittering around waiting for a target. What is the plan here, guys? I'm genuinely curious. No one has anything around the back. SC-25 rocket coming in and veering off at the last minute. Maybe testing for air defences, of which there isn't actually any air defence, is there? Is this a big hole in Tanner's planning? He has... Oh wait, no, I tell a lie. He has one cannon there. Is that all he has? Just one cannon for anti-air defense? I think it is. That is a big hole in Tanner's defense. If Rabid Squirrel could bring in a bunch of bombers, he'd absolutely devastate Tanner, because Tanner's relying on the two anti-air jets. And if you're bringing enough bombers, they're going to struggle to shoot them all down. Whereas there is a lot of anti-air at this side. Some of it's quite far back, though. 2 T-80 BVs in now. BRM-1, another anti-tank weapon coming in up here. I mean, neither player really has a big enough force to do a push at the top. And right now, I would say Tanner has the bigger force at the bottom. And he's got good coverage with that Milan that's still over there, which can fire at the tanks coming in. T-80 firing its smoke off. HE bomber coming in again. I assume going for that this time. No. Going all the way over there. You know, I don't know what it is in this game, but sometimes when you see planes come in, I don't know if it's how far I'm zoomed out or what, but their positioning looks completely different to where they drop bomb. What? Wait, what? It was a disconnect. It was a disconnect. No. Oh dear. Commiserations, Tanner. I wondered why this ended so early. That is so disappointing. I mean, you'd hit a bit of a stalemate, but I would have loved to see the final battle there, guys. Very disappointed. I'm so sorry one of you got disconnected. That would have been an awesome finish to that match. I honestly thought one of you had surrendered. When I saw the time of the game at 14 minutes, I thought one of you surrendered. It's got to be that. Someone's just overwhelmed the other. Oh, that's so... I'm so sad for you, Tanner, if you got the disconnect there. That's a shame, guys. That was a really good game up until that point. I'm so disappointed for you both. But well done, guys. You both played well. You did a brilliant tournament run last time. Rabbit Squirrel, well done. Congratulations on your win. That must feel a bit hollow victory for you, though. That's so disappointing for both of you. I'm sorry. And sorry to the viewers. I honestly didn't know that's how it ended. But really good game up until that point. I was getting quite tense, seeing who was going to push first and risk losing everything. Milan 2 is doing a good job for Tanner, though. Tornado is doing a good job. The MP3 Motorstruck Metis doing a good job as well there. Oh, well, that's disappointing. But that was technically the final of the June tournament. The deciding match. So, the June tournament, I guess, went to Rabbit Squirrel. Well played, guys. Commiserations again that it ended the way it did. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all soon for some more Warno. Hopefully without a disconnect.